Hello, Soulkin, and welcome back to some Domberger Tarot today with your host, Carmilla. And as always, we are working on or getting a general reading, general messages for our 7 days ahead of us or our week ahead messages. So just remember they're general readings. They may or may not resonate. Just take them as they do. So before we hop into the piles, let me go ahead and tell you about the cards that we're using today and our collective web that we have. So today we're working with Chakra wisdom cards, power animal cards or the animal medicine cards, energy oracle, moonology, and we'll be using the Rider Waithe tarot for some divination. So the card for the energy oracle cards today, I pulled that card with the intention of bringing a message of the tangible material manifestation or blessing or gift you'll be receiving this week or within the next 7 days. And the bottom deck of that energy was or is door to personal healing and happiness. So I'm really excited about that. So I'm super excited to know what card is actually in your pile. With the Moonology card, I shuffled those with the intention of getting just a general message from the moon, just in your pile. What is she helping you work through, or what advice she has for you this week or the next 7 days? And our bottom deck card is your hard work is paying off, new moon in Capricorn, which is also really cool. This is a lot about you've been doing the work, but there's also like some movement energy that's happening. There's definitely this convergence or something that's happening between what you've been manifesting or working on or building, and just having that come into the playing field. It's kind of like a jittery energy where it feels like you feel something big or something is about to unravel or happen. You just can't quite put your finger on it. And then for our chakra wisdom card today, bottom deck energy, we have the 4th chakra, heart chakra, with radiate warmth and sincerity. So I'll give you a moment to go ahead and pause the video and read through that. All right. And then our last card for this week, we have our power animal, our collective power animal with Hawk. The Hawk is all about divine messaging, communicating with your spiritual team, communing with nature, just a lot of communication between you and the ethereal realm, receiving messages from ancestors, angels, gifts from ancestors, angels, and things like that. So I'm very excited to see what we have going on this week. So on pile 1, we have the cool Vestuvinite, which I love so much for grounding and feeling very earthy, or I love the Vestuvinite if I need to have more greens in my diet. I kind of look at it and I just kind of crave the fibers. Really interesting. And then we have our rose quartz disc. I do apologize for the noises in the background. The heater's on, and that dog is still barking per usual. And then group 3, we have the celestite chunk. It's really cool. And then group 4, we have our bloodstone, which is a really cool one too. So go ahead and do whatever witchy thing you need to do in order to get you in the mood, and I, my friend, will see you in your reading. Hello, group 1, for all of our friends who chose the Vestuvinite today for your reading. We'll get into your week ahead messages. So we'll set your oracle cards aside for now, and let's see what power animal is supporting you this week, bringing its energy in, see what you got. Oh, that's so funny. We have dog, and you literally hear that dog in the background, just yes, I am dog. This is cool. So group 1, it seems like dog will be supporting you this week in becoming, or not becoming, but realizing the importance of how it's very it's important for you to be loyal to what you're passionate about, to be loyal to what you love, but also be loyal to your own self. There's this balance between self and selflessness that's happening that dog is helping you to embody this week. Almost you love yourself and you love other people, but realizing where loving yourself and loving other people can create some resistance, and you have to figure out what that resistance is for you. So is someone pushing your buttons? Is someone pushing your boundaries? Or is someone trying to hold you up to very, very unrealistic expectations? Just something in that realm to where you're exploring this week, like, what do I need to live a sustainable life? What could please me? You know, what makes me happy? What makes me genuinely happy? You know, and how do I be decisive, and how do I become more loyal to this thing, and how do I become more loyal to myself? I feel like a lot of times people like this trait about dogs, right? And they love how dogs have this loyalty or this selflessness. You know, they're willing to put themselves on the line, and they have like this self-sacrificing ability. But a lot of times we see how that can come back to bite them, right? When people are neglectful of them, they abandon them, and they don't treat them the way in which they should be treated, or the way in which they deserve to be treated. And that same thing should be reflected up on you, right? And of course, we hate seeing when dogs or animals are mistreated and things like that. But I feel like dog is also asking you, like, how are you mistreating yourself? Are you neglecting yourself? Like, dog really wants you to be loyal to yourself and your own needs. And always, you know, be considerate and loyal to your family and the people that you love, right? Because there's a balancing that happens, but make sure that you're not leaving yourself out of the equation. Basically, also, if you do have a dog in your life, definitely spend some extra dog time. Maybe even buy them a gift. Show them your appreciation. I feel like there's also this message of appreciation coming out too, where there's a desire to show more appreciation for your life and the people that you have in your life, and the relationships that you already have, and the relationship that you have with yourself. You know, show yourself some respect and some appreciation for what you've accomplished, and what the people in your life have accomplished. Just kind of appreciating your family, your lineage, everything that you've been through. Just kind of like, yeah, like appreciating the people that you have in your life now, besides wishing things were so like, you know, so large and so different. Just being where you are, loving where you are, and just appreciating where you are now, and then moving forward in that love and that gratitude. It feels really good. So loyalty and appreciation this week for you dog people. Love that. The dog in this card is so cute. So cute. So let's pull 3 tarot cards to see what else is going on this week with dogs. See if we can get anything else, and then we'll get into the oracle cards. If there's anything else dog wants you to know. So we have Death in reverse. That's a hefty card to come out here. Ooh, was that the Star who flashed and Wheel of Fortune? Interesting. If they need to come out more than just a flash, they'll do so. This card wants to come out. We have the Ace of Pentacles, and we also have the Two of Pentacles. Interesting. Bottom deck, we have the Hermit. Okay. So, dog. Okay, so honestly, I'm feeling like with this Hermit energy kind of like overseeing this all, it's just reinforcing that like self-appreciation energy and making sure that you're loyal to yourself. So that could be like a self-reflective energy for you this week, where you're looking at yourself and making sure that you're doing things for yourself that makes you feel very, very appreciated and very, very loved. I feel like there is possibly some type of transition within a relationship that may happen this week. It doesn't feel like some type of big grand transition, but almost like looking at a relationship differently, or setting some type of boundary some way. It feels like there's some type of relationship. Could be a friendship, could be family member, could be an actual like, you know, like a romantic relationship that shifts. I feel like there's something that someone else wants to bring you, and because of this desire that this other person has to bring you, this other person kind of has to get out of the way. Because it's like there's this energy here if you can't like juggle both of these things. Very, very interesting how that's coming through. It's basically that same energy of being loyal to what you actually love and actually making sure and checking in with your relationships, and appreciating what you already have, but also checking in and making sure, is what you already have, is it serving you? Because I feel like with this Ace of Pentacles, there's someone else coming through, but there's some way in which there's some type of relationship or some type of like connection or some type of like something that needs to be laid to rest, which it really could just be a thought about a relationship. So say that you are, for an example, say you are in a friendship or a relationship with someone, and you have this thought about them, some like thought that doesn't seem healthy. It could just simply be having a communication about this thought, bringing it out in the open so there's no more shame around it, so that it can be released, right? Because that's how we release things, right? We just don't release things by not thinking about them anymore. We release things by handling them. So that energy is definitely coming through, where there's this need to, not necessarily a need, but there's like, in order for this to come through, whatever this may be, because there seems like there might be some unnecessary juggling over here, it would be best to kind of like get this out of the way first. Whatever this situation is for you, group one, you'll know what that situation is. I don't want you to like go around questioning everybody and thinking, oh no, this person, that person, this person said this to me in the 3rd grade, it must be them. Like, no, don't think like that. I feel like you will know, this will trigger something in you where you'll know, like, oh, maybe this is the conversation I need to have, maybe this is the person I need to bring this to. It doesn't have to be anything outside of that or questioning everybody, because I feel like there's definitely energy here too of appreciating the role that you've been on, and appreciating all the people who are currently in your life, who've been in your life in the past, and who will be in your life in the future, and just kind of being loyal to the things that you need in your life to live a sustainable life. So I feel like death is coming through and saying, let's just do a clean sweep of things, because there's someone else or something else coming through here, with the Ace of Pentacles, that kind of feels like it wants to wait until it has enough space, because it feels like it doesn't have a desire to be juggled. Whatever this is does not have a desire to be juggled. It wants you to go from here with the Two of Pentacles to here, to holding both of these things. It doesn't want to be juggled. It wants to be the full shebang. Like, maybe I should do this or maybe I should do that. There's definitely some type of loyalty here coming through, like being loyal to yourself and doing what you need to do for yourself, even if other people are putting pressure on you to be a certain way. This doesn't mean to procrastinate or force yourself to not make a decision or anything like that. That's not what I'm saying, because at the end of the day, the power is in your choice. And a lot of times the true fear, because of our power, is in our choice, right? So I feel like you're definitely going to be in a position to where you're going to have to make a very decisive choice based on what you need. And if that's the case, the Hermit is saying you have to get realistic about what you need. So let's do some self-reflection together. Because you just have to, get real about what you need, Like, even if you have, like, a pet dog, you're always, like, realistic, about what the dog needs. The dog needs a walk, the dog needs this, my dog likes this. Like, people are very, very particular about their pets, I know, and we can pick up on our pets' personalities and be like, okay, my dog does not like that, or my dog does like this, So you're basically being tasked with doing the same thing for yourself. Get realistic, not realistic as in, give up your dreams and fantasies. No. We love dreams and fantasies around here. What is being asked of you actually is just get realistic about what you need as a person to live your most optimal, healthy, fun, vibrant, abundant life. And if there is something in your life that you feel like you're not getting that nutrient from, then let's move this out of the way so that it can be transformed, and these people, places, and things can get to the people that they need to get to, because obviously they're not serving you, and that means you are not serving them or it, right? Because this is not only about what people are doing in our lives, this is how we are showing up in other people's lives too. So this is the importance of death that I feel like a lot of people don't realize and they leave out. A lot of people try to talk about what they deserve and things like that. However, it's very, very important to realize that it's about what other people deserve too. And if you're hanging on to situations that are not serving you and people that aren't serving you, guess what? You're not serving them either, right? So that's probably why this message of loyalty and appreciation is coming up, and almost like that appreciation, like appreciating something, like acknowledging the value that something has in your life. Oof. Okay. So that is your energy this week, working on self-reflection and appreciation, like analyzing what has value in your life, what doesn't, and letting it go so that it can go somewhere and you can go somewhere where it does have and can express its optimal value. All right. So let's get into your chakra wisdom cards and see what energies you'll be working with when it comes to your chakras this week. We have divine intervention. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. With death out here, death is divine intervention. Honor let me back up. 7th chakra, crown chakra with divine intervention. I honor a higher power and know that anything is possible. I let a higher power have a more active presence in my life, and I know that my life is divinely guided. I surrender to this truth. I know that I am loved, guided, and protected by a higher source. I am open to seeking guidance in my spiritual quest from a spiritual teacher, master, or guru. So you have your crown being worked on this week with divine intervention. So I feel like you'll probably definitely see that. It'll probably be like some type of tangible sign or something like very... I'm hearing like you'll probably experience some type of like glitching, like technology glitching, or like maybe like palpitations in the heart. Like it'll be noticeable in your... whatever you're being directed to pay attention to with this Hermit card, you will get these signs very in like the material world, like tangibly, like you will see them. All right. And then our second card, we have well-being. Absolutely. We have the 2nd chakra, sacral chakra, with well-being. I honor and respect my body by giving it what it deserves to thrive. Exactly. I provide myself with the best food, exercise, water, relaxation, therapeutic treatments, and thoughts. I only consume foods and liquids that were designed by nature to be in my body. I stimulate my body's energy flow with exercise. I make time to rest, as stillness and tranquility are vital to keep my mind and body rejuvenated. Exactly. This is that well-being energy that I was picking up earlier, of like making sure that you are seeing in your life what is adding value, what is valuable in your life, what is helping to sustain you, because you want to live the most, sustaining, optimal life that you can live, And then our Moonology card, let's see what energy the moon is bringing in for you this week, group 1. Ooh, a new romantic cycle begins with a new moon in Libra. So this goes back to that energy I was picking up earlier. If you are in a relationship, make sure, is this relationship serving me? Are we serving each other? Because this does not have to be a breakup, and it doesn't necessarily feel like a breakup at all. This feels like we need to have a heart-to-heart conversation about something. This feels like maybe there's some insecurity that needs to be brought up and talked about. This feels like removing shame from something. This feels like just having a conversation about what's real, besides trying to enable each other and people please and beat around the bush about something. This feels like being raw and being real and being very, very honest about whatever is going on in your relationship. This also does feel like a new romantic love for those of you who have been manifesting. But this also feels like if there are some of you out there who are holding on to someone and that person is kind of getting in the way, it is probably time to let that situation go. I'm feeling that one is probably the strongest one that I'm feeling resonating with, because it feels like there might be a situation in your life or some type of situationship or something like that just either needs more boundaries or needs more distance. That's exactly what it feels like. Like somebody in your life just needs to know their place, so that whatever this is coming in with the Ace of Pentacles can know that they're safe with you, and they can come into your life, and they can give to you the life that you actually are desiring without this other person's energy getting in the way. basically is what it's saying. So I feel like that is why we have all three of these cards in reverse, because I feel like there's just a lot of like, feels like shame, and a lot of like not a lot, but there's just like a transition or conversation that needs to happen, or a boundary that needs to be placed, or a realistic look at a situation and saying, hey, this situation is not going to improve for either of us, so let's let this go. Let's put this in a coffin, and let's move forward from there. So the tangible blessing that you'll be receiving this week, Group 1, represented by our Energy Oracle card, is the walking away. Listen, I did not look at these cards before I choose them. All right, Group 1, there it is. You have the walking away card. Ooh, that might hit some of you in a very raw, painful spot, if that is what is truthful to you, if that's what you're resonating with. Again, it could be a situation to where you need to walk away from a thought or a habit or behavior that's not serving you or your relationship. There's a desire, there's actually a need here to just be more loyal to you and what you love. Take into account what you need in your life, your standards, what it is that you want, your desires. What are your desires? And if you're in a relationship, is that person meeting it? If you're in a situationship, is that person meeting your desires? Because more than likely, if you're in a situationship, they're not, right? So there's definitely a need of just hanging whatever this is up and, going about your day. Because there's just something out there that's much larger for you. There's something out there that is a better fit. I'm hearing there's just something that is a better fit. So you'll definitely be working through those energies this week. Your guides in spirit are not going to allow anything to slip away from you that is meant for you. So please don't worry about like, I have to do it now or blah, blah, blah. You'll know when the time is right. You'll move and you'll feel it. When you have that urge to say something to somebody, the fear will be there, but the best thing you can do is move with it and do it afraid. If you have to say, hey, this relationship isn't working for me, or hey, this is something that that has been making me feel really uncomfortable. I don't want to continue with this relationship if this is how I'm going to feel. And also making sure that, if somebody is in your life and there's something that they've been saying to you, are you paying attention to what they're saying? Making sure that you're checking in with people that you love and you're appreciating them and you're loyal to them. If the love is true and it's something that you feel very, guided to do and be. So, Group 1. That is all I'm seeing for your reading this week. This is some cool energy. I feel like this is some definite like transition energy, moving from a very, very stagnant place, like kind of like coming out of retrograde and like going into like this more receiving type energy, which I really, really like. And I really love how you have your blessing coming through as walking away. It's kind of like that movement out of stagnancy, or like taking this adventure with dog. It's like that moving out of stagnancy that you've been praying for. So I'm really, really excited to see what is going on for you this week. And, let me know in the comments what's happening. So, as always, if it did not resonate, that is absolutely okay. Just take what did and the rest will fall away. You're not under any obligation to hold on to anything that is not yours. And go ahead and hit this video with a like if you did enjoy it, and hit the subscribe button as well so that you know when new messages have arrived. So, and that helps my channel grow and flourish as well. So it's really nice. But hopefully I'll see you next week. Group 1. Bye. Hello, Group 2, for all of our friends who chose the Rose Quartz Shard, or this will be your reading today. So we'll get into your oracle cards a little bit later. Let's see what animal is bringing in some support, some guidance for you this week. Here's my weekly blank. This is so funny. It gets me every time. All right. Let's see. Ooh, interesting. This is a very eccentric, funny pile. What the heck? This feels very playful, very vibrant. I'm not gonna lie to you. It feels like very like ringtail lemur-y. Like ringtail lemurs are crazy. They are one of the craziest animals I've ever worked with ever. They're insane. This is what this feels like. This feels very very action packed. It feels very like fiery, like there's just a lot happening. It feels like this week you'll just like, why I literally am hearing the freaking I Like to Move It song by King Julian, is that his name, from freaking Madagascar. Like, that is this energy. It just feels like nice, sweet, fantastic. It just feels very fun, and it feels very vibrant, and it feels very like fast paced. I feel like this week might go by really, really fast for you. Like, you might not even see it. Like, it'll be Monday, and then like you'll blink, and then it'll be Friday, and you're just like, huh? You know, like, it just feels like there's gonna be so much that's kind of like just happening at one time, like kind of combusting at one time, to where you're just like, whoa, like, what is all this happening? It feels really good though. It feels like kind of like the movement that you need, kind of like this breaking up of the monotony, you know. Like, it feels like you kind of been like this jello ball, but now there's like this energy coming through and kind of like chopping you up and like kind of dispersing you a little bit. That's what it feels like. It feels like very like movie, very physical. It feels like very physical. It feels like if you have like plans to like hop into like some new fitness routines, or you just want to like work more on dieting, fitness, weight loss and stuff like that, it feels like you'll definitely have the energy and the motivation this week to tap into that. It feels like if you are tapping into your like more romantic or your like sensual sexual side this week, you'll just have more of like an attraction. You'll have more of like this sexual energy. You'll just have more output. It just feels like a very high powered energy. Like, you'll just be more interested in working with your body. It feels like you'll be more interested in trying new things. It feels like you'll be more interested in maybe even wearing an outfit you haven't worn in a long time, or outfit you like bought a new outfit and you're like, this is cute and this is kind of risky, but it's cute and I'm gonna just try it, you know. Like, that's what it feels like. This feels like changing your hair, you know, dyeing your hair like a very I don't want to say unusual, because I love all hair colors. You know, I feel like all, like, literally, I just feel like it's art. But this is like dyeing your hair a hair color that people will be like, whoa, like, that's very bright, or something like that. You know, like purple or something. Like, it just seems like this is the week where you just kind of like be a little more eccentric, and you kind of like feel a little more out there, and you just have like this fiery energy where you just feel really passionate and fun, and you kind of like want to break out of your shell a little bit. I like that energy. So let's get a couple of tarot cards and see what is going on here. This is fun. I just want to dance. Like, I feel like I want to go to the club, or I want to go to a concert or something like that. Yeah. Yeah, this is like kind of unleashing like a hidden side of you. Kind of like that is so funny. Okay, let's see if anybody else wants to flip out. What is our last card? I just want one more card and we'll do bottom deck energy. This one. We have the the Hierophant in reverse, absolutely. And then we have the Page of Cups. Oh my god, this is funny. Yeah, this feels very flirty and like nice, sweet, fantastique. Like, this is what it feels like. I feel like with the Eight of Pentacles out here in reverse, you kind of like are taking your mind a little bit off of work and what you're working on, and like anything that you're working on and you've been working on really heavily, like any type of projects, even stuff like self-care, self-discipline, healing and stuff like that. You're kind of like taking a step back this week, and you're giving yourself some time to like explore like another side of yourself with the moon. I feel like with the moon energy coming through, there's this energy of like kind of like just being a little more fun and like exploring like this more hidden side of you. like this other side. I don't want to say darker side because that just sounds weird to me, because that's not what it feels like. It just feels like this side that you kind of like hide, but like, when you like get off work, you can kind of be that thing. It can be something as simple as, you're someone who acts really modest about their voice. I'm hearing somebody who can really sing very, very well, and you like go out for like drinks and karaoke, and then like you're just feeling the vibe, and then you start singing, and everybody's just like, what? I didn't know you could sing like that. Like, this is what that energy feels like. Where, like, I feel like people are going to see this hidden side of you. That's what it feels like. Like, people are going to be able to see this side, and you're going to feel very comfortable showing this side of you. Like, people are going to like be able to see behind your veil. It's very, with the Hierophant in reverse, the Hierophant in reverse to me usually talks about being very unconventional, kind of like releasing yourself from this cage, or like releasing your inner animal from captivity. That's usually what the Hierophant in reverse means to me personally. That's how I work with this energy. This definitely feels like this. This definitely feels like kind of releasing this kind of like pent up suppression, or some type of like beast, like some type of like sexual hunger, or some type of like hunger for adventure or vibrancy, or just some type of fun that you want to introduce into your life. And I feel like there's just just with this moon energy, and like the the dog, like the wolves and the dog like howling at the moon and barking. I feel like there's just gonna be a lot of people like looking at you like differently, like, whoa, I didn't know, I ain't know you get down like that. Like, that's like what the energy feels like. It's really, really cool. I really like it a lot. This is funny. This is definitely funny. It feels like this week there's really nothing you have to, like, it doesn't feel like anything you have to basically watch out for. It kind of just feels like ride this wave and have fun with it, because you deserve it, because you've been working really hard on something. Whatever this something is, you've been working really hard. You've been putting a lot of time into it. It feels like you've even at some points paired with the moon energy kind of like isolated yourself, and you haven't been necessarily allowing yourself to flow and feel fulfilled emotionally, because you're like, let me get these things done first, and then I'll focus on that. But it's almost like the universe is like, no, like I kind of want to see what's under this. Oh, look at that, the Lovers and the Four of Wands. That's funny. I was like, I'm interested. It definitely has a flirty energy to it. Like, you haven't really allowed yourself to kind of like play the field, or kind of like get out there, because you've been so focused on work and healing and working on self. But I feel like this week you're gonna be given space or an invitation or opportunity to kind of like break out of that a little bit, break out of that monotony. I keep hearing that over and over again, like kind of like get out of your shell, break this monotony, like this kind of like, I keep seeing the imagery of like this big ball of gelatin that is just kind of like, so in like somebody's like putting their hands in it and like squishing it and like moving it around. Like, that's what it feels like. So that's definitely the energy we got coming in for you this week, group 2. I love that. And I love how you pick rose quartz too. And then we have look at the Judgment just showing, hey Judgment, how's it going? Definitely the energy for you this week, kind of like breaking out of this shell. And you don't care who watches, you don't care who's judging you, you don't really care. It's just kind of like this part of you that just wants to be seen and be experienced, and people are happy and ready to experience you, which is really cool. So let's get into your energy, well, not your energy oracle, but let's get into your oracle cards this week. So the chakras you'll be working with this week are, the 5th chakra or 3rd chakra, with expressing my feelings. I allow my emotions to be fully experienced. I acknowledge feelings of grief, anger, or fear, and make a conscious effort to express my emotions or resolve them within myself so that I can move forward freely. I let the unconditional love experience in my heart be expressed through my voice and my creativity. I let those close to me know how much I love and care for them. I forgive all those who have done me wrong in the past, as well as forgiving myself, as I could not have responded in a more evolved way than I was able to at the time. Yep, so that 5th chakra energy, I knew there was somebody here. There's somebody out here who can sing very, very well, and they hide it. There's like a huge singing energy here. It's very interesting. And then our second, we have the 5th chakra with communication. So your 5th chakra is definitely your golden ticket this week, or your prize this week. Just using whatever the power is within your voice. It feels like very, very like, whatever this is, it feels very synchronistic. It feels like very aligned. It feels very good. Like whatever it is just use your voice. Whatever that is this week, use your voice. Be flirty, say things, express your feelings, express who you are, be who you are. Then we have, let me read this. I communicate openly and honestly to express my thoughts and feelings clearly. I share my inner knowledge freely with integrity and without fear. My aim is to be fully understood by others. I am open to giving and receiving praise, and I will be careful not to talk excessively and make it all about me. I create space in my my conversations for others to communicate with me. I inquire about others' thoughts and feelings, as listening to their truth can be uplifting. This is very interesting energy. This could be too like someone who's like a really good healer or counselor, kind of like actually using their healing ability, like someone who typically would shy away from giving their opinion or their advice, no matter how harsh or how sweet it may be, or how like whimsical it may be. You're like, I'm going to give you my opinion. This is what I think about this. You can take it or leave it, but this is what I think. And people are like, well, like, where'd you come from? Like the energy here is like this very fast paced, like I just got to get it out, or I just have to do this type energy, where it's almost like people are taken by surprise, because it seems like this is a hidden type energy that you don't typically bring out all the time, which is very interesting. So let's see what advice the moon has for you this week, or what message she has for you. A win-win outcome is forecast with the full moon in Libra. So we got a lot of Libra energy coming through, which is funny because the moon is in Libra tomorrow. Probably won't be by the time, most people watch this. However, I love how we have all that Libra energy coming through. So win-win outcome is forecast. To me, that really is just saying whatever you do, you're going to do it well, and you're going to do it big, and nobody can stop you. And that's that. That's that on that. And then your tangible blessing this week, whatever, I feel like I channeled this message with like the idea of this is tangible, this is material, this is actual blessing, like something you'll see within the next 7 days. So take it as it resonates. I have no clue what card this is, but let's see. We have financial constraints in reverse. Okay, so I like that. That's good energy. It's in reverse. So I feel like if you have been, there's a message of sudden wealth that just kind of hit me in the back of my head. It just kind of like boom, like kind of took me by surprise. Like it's just like sudden wealth. So it could be this week that you are climbing out of financial constraints, because it's in reverse, and I feel like you've been dealing with financial constraints for a long time, and I feel like the energy is kind of like finally opening or making some headway to come through for you this week, so that you can start like putting just these different elements into the right places. A win-win outcome is forecast for you this week. So whatever this is doing, or whatever you have been doing, especially if you've been doing a lot of fifth chakra clearing, it has been working. The universe wants you to know that it has been working, and there's like this material manifestation that's coming through. So if you have been someone who's manifesting, scripting, like reading your manifestations and sharing that energy out loud, the universe is saying, I hear you, basically. So with financial constraints, I feel like honestly, with it being in reverse, you will no longer have to worry about this lack. And I love how this card is card number 13, because it always, for me, signifies like this receiving energy with the divine feminine, and also the moon cycle. So I feel like this has been like your money, your situation, your relationship with money actually feels like it has a direct correlation with kind of like the push and pull of the moon, which is really, really interesting. So you are probably someone who likes to do a lot of manifesting and things like that, or like that's how you tap into the energies of money, or that's the relationship that you have with money. It's more less like I have to break my back and hard work for somebody else's vision. It's more like self-employed energy, but it's also like I'm going to use magic and manifestation to the best of my ability as well. So, and speaking out loud, speaking this manifestation and this blessing and this beauty into existence is also what I'm hearing. So if you have been speaking that type of energy into existence, it's coming through. So yeah, beautiful energies for you. Beautiful energies for you. I don't know why I just wanted to cut. It's just like such a urge. I'm just like, I want to know so much more. But I will leave it at that so that you can play around with these energies and so that you can let me know how this all plays out during your week. But that is all I'm seeing for you, Group 2. I am so excited for your flirty, fun, sudden wealth energy. I really, really, really love to know down in the comments what's going on and how this energy is flowing through your life. As always, if it did not resonate, that is absolutely okay. Take what did resonate and the rest will absolutely fall away. You're not obligated to hold on to anything that is not yours, all right? Go ahead and hit this video with a like if you did enjoy it, of course, and consider subscribing because you'll know, when new messages arrive, if you like my energy and my vibe, of course. So that's all I have for you folks. I'll see you next time. Bye. Hello, Group 3, for all of our friends who chose the Celestite chunk. This will be your reading for this week or the 7 days right ahead of you. So we will set your oracle cards aside and get into them a little bit later. But let's see what power animal is lending you their power, their energy this week, and how they'll be supporting you. So, oh wow, we have another blank. So this is the first time I've had 2 blanks in 1 week. This is so exciting. Ooh, let's see what we have. This is interesting. This has like a aardvark or like an anteater type energy, which is really, really funny. This has the energy of understanding how the small things add up. Like I have this imagery of I see like an anteater just using this like really long sticky tongue going into a hole and like picking up all these ants, and like how that is like nutritional and like feeding this very, they're a nice sized animal compared to ants, right? And how they're like, sustaining themselves on something so tiny. This feels like you have been, like in the past, it feels like you've been in a position to where you've had to invest so much of you into something new that you were building, and you had to make all these very, very small changes and shifts, and you had to invest like everything, every part of your being into this thing so that this thing could have life or sustain life. And it feels like you don't, like, it almost feels like you don't understand how like significant these choices that you've made have been, and doing these little tiny things have been. It's like you're being there. I hear cheering, and I hear and feel cheering, like you've been taking care of things, and you've been doing all these tiny, small, mundane things that you think wouldn't add up. But then it just feels like this week you're going to understand, like, something is coming into being. Like this week you're going to understand why, and why you have to do everything that you have to do. Like you're going to understand, like, you're going to really, really understand the importance of the energy that you've been putting out, and the importance of the things that you've been doing. It seems like you've been working really hard and you've been seeing little to no result, but you've been sustaining yourself on so little that it's almost like your spiritual team in the universe is like, okay, blah, like here, like here's what we've been hiding from you this whole time. This is what we've been preparing for you. Whoa, that is an interesting energy. It's interesting how it's coming through as like this aardvark or like anteater energy of like this, mammal that eats like these really, really small things, which whale do the same thing, right? Like plankton. But this doesn't feel like, it feels like a very grounded energy, like it feels like very large. So I do have whale coming through, but it feels like a very like terrestrial energy. It feels like very grounded. Like, like watching a plant like sprout its first like fruit or something like that. Like this is what it feels like. But it also feels like that process of like watching and seeing how these small, seemingly inconsequential things become this larger thing and feed and sustain this larger thing. And it's just giving something so much larger, so much life, and now this thing wants to like give back to you. That's a very, very beautiful energy how it's coming through. So I honestly feel like this week, honestly, what I'm hearing is you're prepared for a blessing, like an actual like blessing. Like it feels like some type of radical healing or some type of like, whoa, like almost like a shock to you, like some type of blessing. That's what it feels like. It feels like you've been building this thing. Like say if you were like building a house and you're like co-creating a house and like with someone else, and you're like building a house, but you've been building the foundation, so you've been stuck at the bottom the whole time, like really cramped and like doing all these little things, putting the nails here, nails there, and you kind of been like in this dark space, this dark crawl space, and it's like you finally come out from under the house, and then you see this big beautiful house that already has window panes and siding and paint and, you know, rooms, and that's what this energy feels like. I just keep hearing the word blessing, 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 blessing over and over again. Like, be prepared for your blessing, 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 blessing. Because you don't, like, take into account the amount of work you put into this thing. It's very, very beautiful energy coming through. And it's interesting because this week I felt very, very inclined to pull a specific card for blessings this week. And I love how on the bottom deck energy for that deck is the energy oracle deck. We got door to personal healing and happiness. So I'm interested in knowing what your card is. We'll get into that a little bit later. But let's use some tarot to like see what else is going on here, because I'm like very interested. I just keep there's so much pressure in my head, in like my third eye, my like frontal lobe. Like I just feel like materializing, manifesting. Yeah. Like this is the Ten of Swords. This is that dark healing, that crawl space that you've been in. You didn't realize how like important this energy has been. Ooh. Yep. This card was to come out too. Yep. Let's get one more. Ooh. They're all like, ah, yes. The Eight of Cups energy. I feel like there's one more in here. Okay. That's too many, guys. The Two of Cups is really sticking with me, though, too. Let's see. Guys, this pile has a lot of cards in here that are just like, let me speak. Let me speak. I want to tell them about their blessing. It's like, it feels like a lot. It feels like a lot. It feels very, this is one of those ones where I feel like I'm going to have to like go find it. I do feel like I want to show you bottom deck energy. Yeah. Yep. I feel like there's another one in here. I'll actually leave the Ace of Pentacles out, but I feel like there's something else in here. Yeah. Yeah. This feels you know what's interesting? It feels better. What is that? The Two of Cups? It feels better in reverse. Oh, that's why it feels better in reverse. This feels better in reverse. I was like trying to gauge which position it felt better in, and so does Ace of Pentacles. And let me tell you why. Because I don't always read reverses as, oh, it's blocked energy. If that is the energy that's coming up for me, I will say that. But sometimes what this feels like to me when it's in reverse is that it's like some type of planting, it's a pouring into, and sometimes it could feel like it's so good and there's a lot of ecstasy that is almost overwhelming. This is kind of what that feels like. I'm not going to lie to you. Listen, group 3. You've been doing a lot of healing. You've been doing a lot of tempering, a lot of work, a lot of balancing, a lot of personal management, a lot of like manifesting. Even if you're doing this unconsciously, even if you're saying, this has to change, and you're taking those steps that you feel guided to take in order to change. Like, this is that energy. I feel like this week is kind of like that big payback, or like that big payoff. Like, you like finally coming into that higher level of understanding, and now you have the space to receive. This Ace of Cups feels like a pouring into. This feels like a healing energy. It's just like this week, or the 7 days right ahead of you, you're just like ready to receive that which you have been manifesting. It's like, for some reason, Temperance is just like coming through, like it's like clarity, like you understand, like you see clearly now, and even like I feel like I'm feeling that same pressure in my frontal lobe and like my third eye space. It's like you understand, like it's just like you've been using your healing energy, and like you've been using this heightened ability of like your manifestation, like your ability to manifest, and also your imagination is just so boundless. I feel like there's nothing that you can't achieve, group 3. It's very, very interesting. I love how we got this energy with the Celestite too. It's really, really cool. But it definitely feels like you've been building a stronger foundation for a really long time. You've kind of been in that dark crawl space, but now you get to see what it was all for, and almost like have a reward. Even if you're not done building, and changing and shifting and healing, you have this reward coming in. And I feel like, honestly, that both of these aces are in reverse, because it's like, it feels like it's a gift that's being given to you, and it's one of those gifts that are coming in that they don't feel like they're coming from another person. They feel like they're coming actually from like the universe, like spirit. Like, I feel like they're in reverse because spirit wants you to acknowledge and know, this is where this came from. This came from you. This came from the love, the blood, sweat, and tears that you have put into changing. This comes from you making extremely hard decisions. This comes from you handling confrontation and disappointment like a boss and healing. This comes from you putting yourself on the line and sticking your neck out there and being wild and being crazy and throwing yourself at life at all costs, because you knew how important your healing and your legacy and what you're building is and what it will be. This is basically a reward for that. This is definitely a reward for that. I honestly feel like over here with the 5 of Cups energy, I feel like even if there's something that you feel like you left behind, this doesn't feel like something that you're leaving behind. This feels like something that you've already left behind that kind of still causes some pain in your heart, or maybe like a little tinge when you think about it. But the universe is like, but we got our cups over here chilling, like that's what it feels like. It's just like, like, yeah, like it feels like this is what you're looking at, right? Like this fighting, this challenge, this whatever this hardship has been, this is what you're looking at over here. But behind you is just like this, this pouring into, this overflow of emotion, this well, and this connection, whatever it is you have been manifesting, this bridging, this loving, this coming into union, this healing. It feels so much like a blessing. And I love how too this is like low key like 3 of Cups vibes too with these two together, because it feels like an overflow of ecstasy. It feels very, very good. It feels very, very good. This feels like connection. This feels like freedom. This feels like finally, like all the work that you put into getting to this next step and elevating, it feels like, okay, now it's finally paying off, and it feels like with the 5 of Cups energy too, you've been wondering like, where is it at, like when is it going to make its way in? And it's like, it feels like this is it, like this is finally kind of like the whoosh, like the rain after the drought, basically. They've been going through. This is the rain after the drought. I just hear cheering, and I hear like hope, and I hear like your spiritual team just like, yes, you did it. Like your ancestors, like I feel like your whole spiritual team is just kind of sitting around you right now and just looking at you like they're so proud. They're so happy, like, because you pushed through moments in your life where you literally thought that you were going to like perish. You push through some very, very difficult moments in your life where you thought, I can't do this anymore. I can't keep up with this energy. I can't keep up with these themes. I can't keep up with all this changing. I just can't keep up. And I honestly feel like this is you, and this is like you bursting out of the cocoon. It's like you go from the Ten of Swords to Temperance. Your temperance energy, your healing energy, your highest path type energy, like this is what it feels like. This is that butterfly out of the cocoon type energy, really. This is that energy. I honestly feel like with the Ace of Pentacles and the Ace of Cups out here, it just feels so much like overflow. It feels like overflow. Where it might at one point, like not even at one point, it might like be to a point where it takes you by surprise. It's like almost overwhelming because you're like, whoa, like oh, this is a lot that's happening. Like almost like an overnight type of celebrity type energy. You go from this person one day to the next day, you have all these people in your face asking you questions, paparazzi and stuff like that. Now I'm not saying that's what's going to happen. Unless that does happen to you, I would totally love to know. But this feels like an overwhelming type energy, like whoa, I didn't expect this. Like I expected this to be great. I expected this blessing to be great, but I didn't expect it to look or feel like this, like this good, like this amazing. Like the universe went above and beyond what your expectations were. Ooh. I love this. Temperance wants to be out, like to be shown to you. And Timber's like, show me. Yeah, absolutely. Look at you, Look at you. This is that road where you're heading, this is this blossoming. This is what's happening. This is that harmony. This is that healing, Yeah. Also love how Temperance has that like 1 foot in the water and that 1 foot on land. It's just one of my favorite things about this card. I love how we got that that energy we're picking up earlier too. Definitely. Look at you. It's healing. Medicine. Even if when this happens you have to walk away from something else that may feel sad or may feel disappointing, those 2 cups behind you will amount to so much more than the 3 cups that were spilled. So please lay your anxieties to rest. Don't worry and breathe, because you just have so much more pouring into you and being planted. It's like your seeds are being watered by the universe, and they're growing and they're growing and they're growing. Ooh, some good energy. So let's get into your oracle cards this week. Let's see what chakras will be coming through for you this week. We have compassion and forgiveness. I love that with the heart chakra. I have compassion for myself and for those around me. I let go of anger, resentments, and torments from the past, and I do not give my power away to those involved. Forgiveness is a gift I give to myself. I forgive myself for things I feel I could have done differently in the past, and I remind myself that my response could not have been any more evolved than it was at the time. I am compassionate to those in need, as this shows them that they are not alone. I practice this by listening, sharing, understanding, and being of service, which is exactly what you want to be. With this temperance, with you being temperance, you want to give and you want to receive. You see the 2 cups? That's exactly what temperance is doing. This is you finally stepping into that highest path and that like understanding and that balancing, and you being able to do that in the way that feels right to you. This feels really good. And then we have, Yeah, you have heart chakra energy all over the place. And I want you to know, too, if you didn't see the intro, the bottom deck for the Chakra Wisdom cards for our web this week was heart chakra energy with radiate warmth and sincerity. So I'm very, very, yeah, this is you. Yeah, you've been doing some heart work for sure. I will meditate and be peaceful and calm in my interactions with others and the world. Peacefulness comes in me, giving up the love of power for the power of love. I invite peace to be a part of my life, and I make time to experience my own inner stillness daily. I continually develop an inner sense of calm, and I trust that everything will be right. Feeling good about myself will help bring peace into my life. Yep. Heart chakra energy blasting all over the place. I love this energy. Oh, yeah, and you were the group that got 2 freaking Moonology cards. That is so funny. You can't make this stuff up, man. I swear. I just swear. It's so funny. So let's pull your 2 Moonology cards and see what energy the moon is bringing into your week. Oh, yeah. Believe in the impossible. Yep. Believe in that blessing. Whatever it is that you've been manifesting, go ahead and know that it's coming true, friend. And then you also have work through your fears. New moon in Scorpio. Yep. If you have fear, if you have doubt over here with this 5 of wands and this 5 of cups, it's really like, I honestly feel like that is spirit saying you can lay them to rest. You can work through them. Do some fear inventory if you need to do fear inventory or something like that. Just, write your fears out, read them to someone else, and then go burn them and release them to your spiritual team. I feel like you can do that. You can bring this energy in because you have been working through your fears. I feel like this is also a reminder, like spirit is telling you, this is what you've been doing. You've been working through your fears. This is what you've been doing. This is what you've been doing. This is straight blessing. This is straight blessing type energy. This is beautiful. And then your energy oracle card, which represents actually the tangible, physical, material blessing that will be coming in this week. I love how we have indecision in reverse. Wow, your material, your magical, your beautiful blessing is the ability to finally settle on what you already know to be true and what you already know that you want and you desire, and allow that blessing to come into you. That is exactly what I'm hearing. That is exactly what this card is saying. You are no longer trapped in indecision. You are no longer trapped by what you think you should be or what you think you need to do, because you know that truly, 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 the best way that you can be of service to other people and for yourself is to be the most authentic, most beautiful, most powerful, most potent, most loving, most amazing you. And you do that by being those things for you first. That's it. This is honoring that journey. This is honoring the upgrades, the beauty, the decisions that you've made. And this is finally deciding that, you know what, I'm not going to settle. I am going to go the route that I know that I want to take. This is finally getting off of straddling the fence and deciding yes, saying yes to your own blessings, saying yes to the things that you want in your life, your own desires, saying yes to what you need to feel in your life and what you want to experience in your life to feel replenished, deeply replenished and rejuvenated and full and abundant and wealthy. This is finally saying yes to all of those things and allowing karma to come into your life and to balance you, allowing the universe to come into your life and to balance everything out for you. This is that energy. No longer indecisive. You know what you want. You're done deciding. It's decided. And you can move forward from there. Working through your fears has gotten you to this point to where you don't have to worry about it anymore. You don't have to but what if this and what if that, and kind of playing both of these fields. Nah, you can walk that straight line down that royal path that has been designed for you, by you. Ooh, good energy. And I didn't let me stop using words like that. This is a vibe though, group 3. This is some blessed energy, man. This is definitely like a bless up, you know, like this is like, all right, you've been allowing the universe to do in your life the things that you couldn't do, even when the universe kind of like drug you by the back of your neck and through some mud and stuff. And this is finally like, okay, I'm deciding that life that I want for me is for me. I'm not questioning it anymore. I'm not telling myself, but what about my past? And what about this? And what about that? This is nothing. Not me, not my friends, not my family, not my decisions, nothing is going to stop me from choosing the life, that destiny that the universe has prepared for me. And nothing is going to get in the way, not even me, of God's, of Spirit's will for me. Woo. So believe in the impossible, group 3, because it is literally happening. All right, friends, that is group 3. That is your reading for this week. Please let me know down in the comments what the heck is going on. I would love to know how this beauty of being decisive is manifesting into your world this week. What is this blessing? What have you been working through? You know, I would love to know. As always, if it does not resonate, that is absolutely okay. Take what did and the rest will absolutely fall away. You are not obligated to hold on to anything, absolutely anything that is not yours. All right, of course. As always, if you do like this video, go ahead and hit it with a like. And if you would desire to hear more messages from me, if you like my energy and my vibe, go ahead and subscribe so you can have a little more of me and my messages. So that's all I have for you this week, group 3. I do hope to see you next time. Bye-bye. Hello, group 4, for all of our friends who chose the Bloodstone. This will be your reading for this week, for the 7 days right ahead of you. So we're going to use some Rider Waithe Tarot today to do some divining, but we'll set your oracle cards to the side and see what power animal is coming through and lending you some energy this week and supporting you, guiding you. Sorry about the Discord. We have Beaver. We have Beaver energy. I love this with the number 22. There's something that you've been building. There's something that you've been building out of insecurity, and it feels like the universe wants you to like, the universe is saying that I want you to scrap that. Like there's some like maybe some type of like idea or some type of like relationship or something like that you've been building. Like, oh, like I like this will soothe this insecurity, or this will put a band-aid on this insecurity, where Spirit is like, no, like we don't have to put a band-aid on this. Like, trust in me, we can do more than just band-aids. You know, we can actually do some big, deep, radical healing. This feels like Beaver energy typically talks about building, sharing, and community for me, and this definitely feels like Spirit is asking you when you build things and when you do things, you don't have to do them out of insecurity. You don't have to do them because you want to prove to someone that you love them. You don't have to do it because you want to prove to someone that you're grateful, prove something. Also, the universe is saying, or Spirit is saying, like, you don't have to prove anything to me. And the only person you have to work on proving anything to is yourself. You don't have to overextend or work over capacity. You don't have to do anything that doesn't make you necessarily happy, you know, unless it's something in your life that you feel like you want to improve on personally. Spirit is basically saying that you need to know the power of your choice. And I said this in another group as well. The power is in our choice of what we're doing, how we're responding, and what we're building. But that is also where the fear lies. The fear lies, right? That is where the fear lies, is in the power of your choice. So fear is going to come through and tell you all the wishy-washy, whatever. It's going to talk its crap. But like, this is one of those groups where it's like, this is like, Spirit wants you to build something sustainable, but Spirit wants humanity, our collective, to get out of this habit of building out of self-sacrificing, or this fear that we have around selfishness and doing the selfish thing, Spirit actually wants us to build on a more self-centered foundation so that we can live in overflow and we can offer overflow to others. This is all about taking care of yourself and building something that is sustainable for you and not only sustainable for people who come into you. Does that make sense? Like, you're building a house and you're like, oh yeah, like this house is safe and it's cool for everybody else, but is it safe for me? Like, will it sustain me? Does it help me? Does it heal me? Like, can I feel safe in this space? So if you have been building something out of insecurity, like, or trying to like manifest something out of insecurity, I'm trying to like think of an example. Like if you're doing something like, I want to lose weight so I can attract a mate or something like that. Like, obviously, it is totally okay for you to want to lose weight in order to feel like your healthiest self. However, if its foundation is built upon pleasing someone else or changing or really in someone else, it's going to be unstable, because what happens if that doesn't work, right? What happens if you do that and the person that is the object of your desire, it doesn't faze them? You know what I'm saying? Or like, it wasn't your weight that was something that was the problem. It was maybe they don't vibe with your personality or something like that, you know, like you're just incompatible. So and I don't mean to come at you like that, like that's literally just an example, but I'm trying to say, like, when you're building something and you're doing something, Spirit is saying, don't, like, be careful about the base of your foundation. Be careful about what you're doing out of insecurity. Make sure that you're doing it with you in mind first. Like, how will this make you feel safe and secure? And analyze anywhere in your life that you feel like you are doing something out of insecurity. Like, oh, I gotta do this because if I don't do this, they're gonna think this about me. Or, you know, I have to be this way because if I'm not that way, then they're gonna think that and they're gonna say that. This is like, you know, like not caring so much about the way others view you and what you're building, and allow yourself to just build, because that's true security. Allowing yourself to build and knowing the tools and the materials that you need is more important than taking tools and material from other people and using that to build something that you think is safe for you when it's not even safe for you at all. It's safe for other people. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. I was really trying to explain the energy and how it's coming through, but this is all about like not building anything out of security. And I feel like Spirit is like, you understand now. And it's funny, I saw that right when the timer hit 555. So I feel like I feel like a desire to flip that energy, like not building out of insecurity. You're really understanding this week how important it is to build out of security and stability for your own self. Because when you build, especially the sanctuary inside of your own being, out of security for your own self, the people who love and respect you and your boundaries will be rejuvenated there. They will live there. They will live there freely because they feel safe within you, because you feel safe within your own self. Boom. That's it, group 4. You know, not building out of insecurity. So let's get some Rider Waithe Tarot. See if there's any other messages out there that we have for group 4 about not building out of insecurity. Is there anything else Beaver energy wants to help us with? What was that? The 6 of Pentacles who flashed? Let's see what we have. We have the 3 of Wands. I mean, the 3 of Wands, the 3 of Swords, the Chariot, and the Star. And we also have bottom deck, we have the Wheel of Fortune. Ooh, this was really, really good. Okay, so there's a couple of energies coming through here. If you are watching this and you feel like you're someone who is trapped in some level of stagnancy, I feel like there's some matter of the heart that needs to be taken care of, or something that just has to be like kind of like looked at for like deeper than like a surface level look. You kind of like going deeper into that dam and kind of taking a deeper look at it. That's the story that's coming through. I also feel like if there are any people out there who are like focused on and desiring some type of radical healing, you will definitely get it. But I feel like with the Wheel of Fortune in reverse, it feels as if you have to make that decision for yourself. I feel like Spirit is coming through and saying if there is an insecurity, you have to challenge within your own self what that insecurity is. I'm getting that so deeply from the star because, you know, the star is like completely vulnerable. You know, she's literally out here chilling, naked, you know. All she has are those jugs of water. You know, if something was coming in to harm her, like her only, you know, protection would be either to run or like use these jugs of water, you know, to crack them across the head, you know, or something like that. But I feel like this is almost like a journey of being vulnerable and being open about what it is that's bothering you and what it is that's actually like working its way in your life. I'm hearing if you need therapy or any kind of therapy or any type of like healing, like the energy is definitely guiding you there. If you need any type of like help working through something that is just deeper than what you can handle on your own, seek help, seek therapy. For some reason, this bird always speaks to me. It's always like talking about guidance, trusting your guidance and trusting where you're being led. And also just, I'm hearing a huge message here for those of you who need it, especially when it comes to like insecurity or anything in the past that is really eating away at you. Don't be afraid to go to therapy. Don't be afraid to go to therapy because there's some things that you just need help with that are outside of your own self. You need some type of, you know, a leader, some type of counselor, some type of spiritual teacher, somebody who's going to help lead you through. This is not always about, you know, waking up, self-diagnosing yourself, trying to out-manifest your sadness and insecurities. This is not about, you know, always, you know, waking up and hopping on YouTube and watching a pick a card reading or something like that. Sometimes you need some type of support outside of what you can do for your own self. And I feel like that is definitely the energy that's coming through here for group 4. Seeking support outside of your own self and stop waiting for something to manifest that you think will be the healing or something like that. Or like, it definitely feels like you're waiting on a blessing or like you want a blessing or something like that, when it feels like your blessing is, you know, therapy or support or reaching out or asking for support. There's definitely a pal here who was like, their energy was like definitely like blessing. A lot of, they put in like, you know, it feels like they definitely did like therapy and things like that, like working. And this pal feels like let's build a stronger foundation by starting with therapy. Let's kind of like put a halt on, you know, all this other stuff for a while, and let's like seek some therapy. Let's speak to someone. Let's go to some type of like coaching, some spiritual coaching. Let's learn how to protect our energy. Let's learn how to protect our time and learn how to protect our space, because there's some things that you simply can't do alone. So this is like reaching out. I feel like this is definitely a reaching out energy too that we have here, because it feels like there's just like a lot of heartache and heartbreak in this pile that you've been trying to work through, and you're like hanging on to this hope that, okay, once this thing happens then I won't have to deal with this thing anymore. And it doesn't necessarily feel like that. It feels like the best thing that you can do is reach out, go to therapy, start some type of spiritual, emotional, mental, physical healing. Because it feels like, you know, insecurities are just conditioning, old lies that, you know, our parents were told and their parents were told, and, you know, generational trauma, curses, and, you know, our society that puts a lot of pressure on us to look a certain way, to be a certain way, to think a certain way. And if you don't meet those standards, then you're not good enough. You know, you're constantly reminded in your world and in our society that you're not good enough. And I feel like Spirit does not want you to think that way, but also Spirit does not have any desire to for you to manifest something out of insecurity, out of, oh, I'm going to reach this end goal, or I'll like manifest this when I am good enough for it. And Spirit is like, no, you're good enough for it now. You're good enough for it now. But let's heal these things that tell you that you are not. This is a very, very beautiful energy. I really, really like that. It's like it feels very supportive. And it doesn't feel like anything is blocked or anything like that. It just feels like simply the universe wants you to leap. And the universe is going to meet you there. That's what the Wheel of Fortune in reverse is telling me. Like there's like this radical, beautiful healing that just wants to rush into you. But there's like this fear of what other people will think when it comes to therapy or counseling or spiritual healing and things like that. Like also I'm hearing like somebody like saying, I hear somebody saying like, I can't spend my money on that, or like what are people gonna think, me spending money on therapy? You're investing in your own beauty, in your own life, in your own soul, in your own body, in your own sustainability. You're investing in your wealth, in your health, in this life. You know, this is more than just therapy. This is more than just, you know, just any old thing. Like, oh, I don't care about my mental, emotional, physical, or spiritual health. This is so much more, you know, than getting over it. This is so much more than releasing it. You know, people are like, just release your past. Like, they say stuff like that and they don't even like give you tools to do that. You know, releasing your past is hard. Releasing conditioning is hard. You know, stuff like that is not easy. Tapping into your emotions, feeling your emotions, doing shadow work and things like that is hard. It is not easy. I don't know where people got this idea that it's freaking easy. It's not. It takes a lot of acceptance and firmness and softness and vulnerability and courage and a bravery, and it takes everything that you got to go through these deep levels of healing and unfolding and unraveling. And these different levels of healing deserve so much more respect than they receive. Okay? People who, therapists, psychiatrists, counselors, spiritual healers, teachers, you know, people, even people who work in like, you know, tarot readers, astrology, anything like that, anything that's helping people work through these very, very deep, dark themes in their life, you know, and is helping to radically transform someone's life and heal them and help them work through trauma and conditioning. All of this work deserves so much more respect than it is receiving, because this stuff is not easy. This is labor. This is real labor. This is actual labor. And there are so many people around you in your life you can probably look at and you're like, nah, you're not doing any healing, you know? Like, you can see it. You can see where people are getting comfortable and where they're settling for where they're at because they can't handle this level of healing. Why? Because it's hard and it's confronting and it's scary and it's isolating and it's sad and it hurts. It freaking hurts. It feels like you're being ripped apart. Look at that. Look at what's under there. It's the Five of Swords. The Five of Swords is a card that always speaks about insecurity to me. Always. The Five of Swords is insecurity to me. And look what's under that group 4. The Sun. The Sun. Take your healing seriously, you know? Take your mind, your body, and your soul seriously, because your sun moment, your clarity, your love, whatever this is that you're wanting, is right behind this insecurity. The universe just wants you to take that leap and do it first. You know? The universe just wants you to give yourself permission. The universe wants your permission, basically. The universe wants your permission. Give the universe permission to do in your life what you cannot do for yourself. Give yourself permission to say, it is okay that I want to heal. And I feel like you know that healing is going to graduate you in a way. And you're going to move out of people, places, and things that you're going to be healing. They are not. They're going to rise with you, or they're going to watch. And you're afraid of that. You're very afraid of losing people who don't want to accompany you on this healing journey. And I am so sorry to tell you, but it is needs to be understood that there are some people, places, situations, things, memories that are just going to have to be left behind. Certain identities, certain ways in which you want to identify with your trauma to make you feel like a better person, it just has to be left behind. Because healing is a gift that you give to yourself. Healing is not, I want to heal so that I can manifest. I want to heal so I can manifest the perfect relationship and the perfect job and the perfect house and car. Healing is manifesting the best parts of you and your best abilities and getting to know the real you. This has nothing to do with anything outside of you. Everything outside of you will have its time. But right now, this is about healing. This is about healing that insecurity that tells you that you're worthless and that you're useless and you're never going to make it. You to hold on to some stupid memory you have of the past of you saying something wrong or saying you too enjoy your dinner, you too to a waitress or something like that. This is healing conditioning. This is healing insecurity so that you can live a secure and stable life. Because you want more out of life than what you're currently getting group for. It's really plain and simple. You're weak. And for this, I feel like this entire year, you're definitely focused on your healing. Healing. And I feel like this is healing in the best possible way. Make it easy on yourself by giving yourself permission to go to therapy, to connect, to reach out for support, to find support groups, to find people who you can talk to, who you can have deep conversations with about healing. Find people that you can connect to. And those people will continuously find you. Healing, group 4. Healing. Whew. All right, so enough of that rambling. Let's get into your chakrism cards. The chakras that you'll be working on this week are, we have sacral chakra with sensuality. I encourage myself to express my sensuality and emotions creatively using all my faculties, including touch, voice, and actions, and creative abilities such as arts, craft, music, acting, cooking, gardening, and writing. I practice being aware of and enjoying my senses being nourished and stimulated by the natural world, such as by landscapes, people, weather, animals, aromas, and sounds. I honestly feel like that is literally your sacral chakra coming through and being like, and therapy, healing. Let's heal. Let's experience the world in the way we want to experience it. Let's not settle for less. Let's not get ourselves trapped in this conditioning telling us we can't do these things or do those things because of somebody else's reasoning. This is that sacral chakra feeling trapped and wanting and desiring and demanding that it is allowed to experience itself. That's your seat of your uniqueness. That's your unique expression. That, your sacral chakra, is what makes you you and who you are. And I feel like that is literally what is asking right now, to be respected and to be acknowledged and to be set free. We also have the 5th chakra, the throat chakra with creative expression. I am committed to sharing and revealing my thoughts and feelings by being creative in my communication style and using expressive language. Yes, like being honest and going to therapy, I express myself through talking, singing, sighing, laughing, and crying, and through using my creative talents. I consciously use my senses to experience my world more fully. I see, hear, smell, and feel more, and I become more aware of my surroundings, such as the weather, aromas, people, nature, sounds, and sights. Literally, how did you get both of the cards that talk about this feeling, this experiencing of life, this landscapes, people's, weather, animal, aroma, sound, this feeling, this tapping in? How did you get both of those cards? That's like crazy how it's coming through. The world around you just wants to heal you and nurture you and give so much to you. But you have to give yourself permission to feel that. And then our Moonology card for this week, we have communication is key. Yep. New moon in Gemini. Absolutely. Absolutely. Communication is key. Expressing yourself is key. Expressing who you truly are and who you truly want to be and the things that are actually getting in your way and being honest about them is your key. Especially this week. And that's the startup of that energy as it gains momentum for sure. And then our actual tangible physical manifestation or blessing that's coming in for you this week, group 4, is healing a broken heart. Acknowledging and healing a broken heart. Cracked open, allowing it to bleed, allowing it to spill all over the place so that you can really tap into and begin this radical healing. Grieving, moving, healing, whatever you have to do. Tapping into the energy of that broken heart and moving through it. And moving through it. Moving through it. Finding your healing modalities. You know, what makes you happy. Starting up that healing. I love that energy. And I want to show you too the bottom deck energy that we had for our tangible blessings or feelings or experiences this week with the energy oracle card was door to personal healing and happiness. And that's for the collective energy of all 4 piles. And you're not free of that. That is for you too. That's how you are going to walk through this door. Whew. All right, group 4. All right. I love you so much. Thank you so much for coming and chit-chatting with me today. I really, really appreciate it. As always, if this message did not resonate, that is absolutely okay. Just take what did and the rest will absolutely fall away. You are not obligated to hold on to anything that is not yours. All right. So if you did enjoy this video, go ahead and hit it with a like. If you do enjoy my energy and vibe, go ahead and hit subscribe so you'll know when I drop some new videos and have some new messages have arrived. So that's always really fun. And it helps my channel grow and flourish too. So that's always really fun. I really appreciate it so much. And I really appreciate you, group 4, and I really, really hope that you this week tap into the healing modalities that you need. You reach out for support and you get all that you need, and you give yourself permission to be and to experience life in the fullest, most beautiful, and most healing way. All right? So hopefully, group 4, I will see you next time, friend. Bye-bye.